We had so much yesterday, right? We had the dolphin and whale energy healing. Actually, I thought I'd do a fun thing today. So Ann Gordon, who was stepped in to be our first presenter because Master Shah had to reschedule for today. So he'll be coming up first today. But so she did that amazing dolphin and whale energy healing. And one of the things that she didn't share with you guys is she has a card deck. How many of you guys love card decks, like Oracle decks and stuff, right? So Ann Gordon has her Wisdom from the Sea card deck. So I thought I would do a card pull for us this morning. How fun is that? Okay, so let's give it a minute. And I'm going to pull a card. Oh, this is great, right? So the card I pulled is importance. Importance, because it's important what we're doing here. And it's a shrimp. It says shrimp tells us no matter how small you may feel, we all have an important function or purpose on this planet. How appropriate. And does have a little book with it. So let's cut that quickly. So for those of you just joining us, we just did a little a card pull from Ann Gordon's wonderful Wisdom from the Sea card deck. And it says shrimp. It tells us how important we are. So shrimp tells us no matter how small or insignificant you may feel, we all have an important function or purpose on this planet. I help keep the ocean bottoms clean and healthy for all life. If I did not exist, the ocean floors would be filthy and unhealthy, and small fish would not exist. With no small fish, there's no big fish, and so on. You too have an important purpose here on Earth. Do not forget it. Do not let daily life interfere with this purpose or distract you from fulfilling your purpose. What a great card. All right, so who else? Tell me something that happened in the chat, or just unmute. What's something that stood out for you from yesterday, from one of the amazing speakers and this connection with healers?
The scans stood out for me because over 30 years ago, I experienced really bad health and had something, it's not exactly like that, but it was a scanner that scanned and they set up homeopaths based on that scan. And so I was really impressed, and I have set up an appointment. So I'm looking forward to doing that with Julie.
Yes. You can see why I wanted to yeah, Vera, I'll call on you next, but why I wanted to include that as part of and really honor Lauren, right? For bringing that technology and creating it. It literally was like, initially it was this $30,000 machine, right? That and then you have to go into an office and hook up to it. And he figured out a way to put it in the container of a phone, because that's just it's a little mini computer, right? That can connect to the internet and that sort of thing. So, I mean, so that like, it's so accessible for anyone, anywhere, and you can literally use it on anyone, anywhere. You don't have to physically be with them. It's extraordinary. All right, Vera, please share with us what's stood out for you, or questions or anything like that from yesterday. But you are still, you're not muted on Zoom, but we can't hear you.
That better?
Yes, we can hear you now. Yay,
it helps me turn on the mic.
Yeah, it helps if you do that.
I wasn't expecting to speak today, so I just forgot to turn it on. Yeah. So yesterday went with Miss Eden and her husband. I was just that was just the best thing I had ever seen, and the fact that they are together, and I hope me and my boyfriend are like that later. But
yeah, I partway through, I just kind of I had to suppress myself from just going, "You are adorable." I know,
right? But they really were adorable. But I was really impressed, because I didn't realize that I had some healing done on Valentine's Day, and it was like a Reiki healing, but it was just supposed to clear my karma and my my chakras and all that, but it ended up curing my chronic pain. And so it was kind of like surprising, but now that I've seen this, it was kind of like, oh, now I get it. It was kind of like I understood a lot more, and I had already like intuitively healed my own knee, doing some of the stuff that she was talking about. So it was just kind of amazing for me to see why it worked. You know what I mean? And so now I want to learn more. It's like, now I want to know more. But yeah, I even took one of her free classes yesterday. I was there yesterday after we got done here. I was over there. But yeah, it was just amazing to me to see like why everything worked, and I guess why everything happened, on Valentine's Day the way it did. And because I mean, I knew, to me it was just a miracle. It was just a miracle. But and it still is. But now I kind of have a better appreciation for the physical parts, and the energetic parts, how they connect, that I didn't have before. So I think that it was so important for me to see that yesterday. I felt like I was meant to be here just for that. I didn't care about whether I missed everything else or not. I was meant to be there for that.
Yeah.
So it was.
How many of you had an experience like that where you're like, oh, that's why I'm here? Like one of the things that you like really stood out for you, right? Oh, that was worth the whole thing just for that. Yeah. It was really, I mean, that's really why we did, honor them with the pioneers in energy healing, right? Because as I've been saying, we are in this wave of expansion in the world of energy healing, and there are many people responsible for that wave. We're all partially responsible for that wave, right? We're part of it, and some of the people that we're honoring, in particular, have made a huge contribution to the opportunity that's now available for us. So, yeah, Lee, please.
Hi. I'm kind of speaking listening at work, so I apologize for my video screen coming off. I just wanted to piggyback on that. I became an Eden Energy Medicine practitioner last January, and I'm in there year 3, and it is absolutely amazing. And I just love everything the last person just said. Thank you so much for running this conference. I am so happy to be here and listening. I just wanted to say that. Yes, please go on. And Donna's work is awesome.
Beautiful. Wonderful. All right. And we're coming up to the top of the hour. We're going to start everything. So any other last minute things that showed up for you for yesterday that you would just want to share, or you want to have a question about?
I have a question.
I'm messaging my team. That's why you saw me looking down. It's because I was messaging the team to do something. So, no, yes, please. Who has a question?
I do. Oh, sorry, my grandson is here. Whoa.
Hey, Penny.
Hi. So I have a question about like the offers that the speakers offered yesterday. If I didn't click on it fast enough, you said it would be in the dashboard.
If you go to the dashboard for the event, yes, right? Yes. And then for each speaker, they kind of have their own page. So if you click on the speaker, and then those should all be there. Okay. Especially if you don't see it, but yeah, so those weren't like you had to catch it right then.
Okay. Great.
Yeah, those should still all be there. I think Art had an extra one, but I can get that from him.
Okay, great. Thanks.
And then if you've joined a couple of things, if you join the Facebook group, I did kind of a little summary post there and put those links in there as well. So yeah, we're trying to make sure everybody gets the right information. So
thanks, Ann.
You're welcome.
It's so fun.
Well, it is the top of the hour, so let us officially get started. This is welcome everyone to day 2 of the Energy Healing Leadership Conference. Woohoo! And today, if possible, is going to be even better, right? As we really move forward into some we're all of this is around the idea of there's this wave of growth in the world of energy healing. Who here's seen the wave? You can tell we're riding the wave, right? You can see it, and we need to understand it better so that we can direct it. So we really have to be thinking forward. We need to be thinking of what's coming next, because there's a lot of different ways things can go, especially when they're growing so organically. And we really want it to create what I like to think of as the Renaissance, where energy healing continues to grow, is more and more validated, is more and more accepted, is more and more in demand. More and more people are realizing they have this ability to heal themselves and others. It becomes more integrated with other types of healthcare, which also have their place, right? And it stops being such a duality between there's like Western medicine and energy healing, and they start to really come together more, right? That's the vision that I hold. And I think of that as the Renaissance And we can't stick our heads in the sands and lose track of the fact that it could go another way, right? It could get kind of shoved back underground the way it has been for, at least in the Western world, for the last few hundred years. So we need to have a voice at the table. We need to be involved in the education and the regulation and the legal side of things, as well as the parts that we love so much, right? Which is the doing of it. So that's really what all of this was born out of, right? And we think of those as those 4 pillars of energy healing: the education, the work itself, the wisdom, the healing wisdom, these new ancient modalities, and getting them out to the world and preserving that education and expanding it. That's pillar 1 of energy healing sustainability. And the second is the legal and the regulatory side, right? Understanding, educating ourselves, knowing what it is that we need to know on the legal side, and having a voice at the table in getting regulations and laws written that protect us, support our clients. And then there's pillar 3 is the research. And we had some amazing reports on that yesterday with Dr. Caitlin Connor and the over 15,000 published studies, so much more. How many of you were kind of shocked to learn that there are that many published studies around energy healing, right? And then pillar 4 is the part that's, most just it's the part I'm most passionate about, which is healing the business of healing and helping healers to heal those inner wounds and break through and break past the things that hold them back, so that they can help a lot of people and be paid well to do it and be a thriving healer, right? So how many of you guys love that vision of all of those things coming through and contributing to the Renaissance? Awesome. Well, so let's see. I'd love to hear from some of you. What is, it could be one of 2 things. What's your intention for yourself? Like, what would you love to get from being here at this conference, right? You might have already gotten something you didn't even know, and how's that connect to, like, what's your vision of the future, right? So I'm going to just pause for a moment. Let's everybody just kind of stop. Just make sure you drop into your body. Okay. And I want you to ask yourself, what are you willing to get from being here? Let's put it that way. What if you could get anything from being here at this conference? Even things you didn't even think were possible. What are you willing to get for yourself out of participation? So take a moment, see what answer you get. All right. So let me know in the chat, or feel free to raise your hand. We have this time built in to share at the beginning. What came to you when you asked? Hey, Shannon, haven't seen you in a while. Yeah, let's hear from you.
So I feel like I'm being introduced to other healing modalities through this conference. And it's really great because I love to support my clients in the way that I can. But if I can't do something for them, I want to have the knowledge of where I think they need to go. And I'm already getting so much information on, hey, maybe I can't support you best in this way, but here's this person, or here's this modality that you can look into for better healing for yourself. And I think that, I don't know what I expected when I signed up for this. I think I was just open to being like, oh, well, it's Ann and I love her, so it's going to be good, but to hear like all these different things that I'm just like, oh, I didn't even know that. I didn't even think about that. Or it was off in the distance and now it's like right in front of my face. And I just really appreciate that, because I feel like I can go out and serve better having this information, even if it's not coming directly from me, like it's a way to reference. And refer.
Yes. Beautiful. Thank you. And Tracy in the chat, the question is, what are you willing to get from being here? right? So I had everyone to kind of just take a moment and connect and ask, like, what would you be willing to receive? It's a really important question, right? Because it's not just like, what do you already know you want? Maybe there's something, it's not even there, but if you ask and you ask your guidance, if you ask your miraculous self, as our Geyser introduced us to yesterday, what are you willing to receive? You might get a very surprising answer. I love some of these. I keep seeing butterflies, which symbolizes transformation for me, to keep going in this realm despite the obstacles and legal issues. Yes, more confidence, validation, confirmation, confirms my mission, being the ultimate healer. I love that. Well-rounded in as many aspects as possible. More knowledge, 5 ways to keep healthy, joyful expression. This is awesome. All right, Joy. What are you willing to get from being here?
What I already got from yesterday was that idea of giving yourself permission. Was that from Art?
Yeah, from Art Geyser. Yes, full permission.
Giving yourself permission. And then from what you just said about willingness to receive. Those two things are, I can tell they're really huge openers for me. But now I can also use that when I'm speaking to my clients. So
absolutely.
Thank you. And everything else that everybody said.
Yes, we're blowing up the chat, which is great. And yes, the willingness to receive. How many of you know that you are way more comfortable taking care of other people than being supported yourself? That's probably everyone in the room, because that's a healer thing, right? And so we'll be talking about this today, but like, we have to include ourselves. It's not save the world except me. Right.
Thank you.
All right, beautiful. Marianne, hello.
Hi, it's the same thing. I felt like I was drawn here. I know your work, Ann, and I love what you bring and your kindness and your compassion to us. And so when you ask that question, I know that I've worked on myself. I work on, I have clients, and I always know, like, for me, and I've had others work on me, there's a block and there's some resistance in me to really be my own healthiest self. And so when Art was doing his work, I was like, I could only be in part of it, but I was like, oh my God, that was like the missing piece for me. Like, there's some misalignment going on. It's one part of me is going, yeah, go for it. And the other part is going, oh no.
Yeah, right.
You're not safe. You're not safe to go in this direction yet. So I hear the yet. And I think this is a great path. I'm so excited just to be a part of this.
Beautiful. I love it.
Thank you.
For those of you who missed it, if you got the recordings with the VIP, don't miss that presentation by Art. It is very powerful. Very, very powerful. All right, don't miss any of it. Dominique, hello. Whoops, you are still muted.
Sorry.
All good.
Yeah, just what came to me is just unshakable connection and confidence to, my inner self, to spirit, whatever you want to call it, the energy. And yeah, it just came really strong that there's like, I think Marianne, whoever was before, I just feel like there's something that I've been really holding on to and not letting go of. So just really like receiving and letting go and just opening to that energy. I think there's part of me that's just been really scared to like let go fully.
Yeah, I've seen that, and I've seen it shifting for you.
Definitely shifting. Yeah.
And that I love what you said, because I know Dominique and we've worked together. And when you just said unshakable, I was like, yes. I love it.
Thank you.
I love it. All right, Aparna.
Hi, Anne.
Hey,
I'm so
Aparna.
excited to be here. Well, I have family visiting from Australia this week, so we've been kind of traveling, and I've tried to, dial in a bunch of times during our car rides yesterday. So I got bits and pieces of it, but I got the VIIP package, so I'm really looking forward to sitting down and actually, going through all of the recordings later.
Yes.
But even without, that complete experience yesterday, I feel this intense connection. But when we think about our subconscious and the universal consciousness, I, feel like it's a individual computer is connecting to the internet, the World Wide Web. I feel like that. I feel like all of us are kind of plugging into this worldwide energy healing web, and all of our knowledge is going to come together. And it's just amazing to think of the potential when we come together and we have this common connection, and it's just mind blowing to think about. So I'm just super excited for that. The biggest thing that has happened to me over the last month since I started, that program with you, is that connection with other people, where I felt I was by myself. I barely knew any other, one or two healers, but didn't really connect with them. But now there's this whole world, whole new world, universe, multiverse that's opening up. So it's so exciting, and I can't wait to hear all the information and grow. And like someone else said, all the things, all the tools that are available to us and to our clients, and how this understanding can just trickle down to so many. It's like a domino effect waiting to happen, right? The information that we learn from this then goes to so many people that may need to know that. So it's beautiful. Thank you so much.
You're so welcome. Yeah, it's the community is one of the things. I mean, I've spoken with literally thousands of healers, and one of the most common things that I hear from them is that they often feel isolated. Right? They feel kind of, how many of you guys can relate to that? You can leave your hand or type in the chat, like, yeah. And I think there's a lot of reasons for that. I think it's partly because we're in the forefront, right, of bringing this like new ancient wisdom into the world. So we're the weird ones. Sometimes our own family is like, what are you doing? Right. So I think there's that. I think it also has to do with that tendency of healers to be supporting everyone else and not be willing to take the support themselves. And I think that's isolating. I think there's a lot of reasons for it. We'll get into that more later, but it's why it's one of the biggest joys that I find in the work that I've chosen to do, because I'm really here, as I have shared with you guys, I'm very clear. My mission is to heal the business of healing. Right, to really heal that part that keeps us from being able to get out there and really serve and really help a lot of people and be paid for that, right? To be able to support ourselves doing this work that we're so passionate about. So that's my jam. That's what I'm here to do. And one of my biggest joys in doing that is creating community. Is bringing community of healers together and seeing the look on people's faces when they get like, oh, it's not just me. It's not just me that feels that way. It's not just me that's suffering with that. It's not just me who is struggling with that, right? And it's not. And when we come together in community, that's when the magic really happens. When you look at, as I think you started to say, you look at all the stuff we've been able to accomplish, just kind of spread out, everyone kind of out in their own silos. As we come together more powerfully, just imagine how we can transform the world.
Yeah, that's amazing. It's group healing in action.
Yes, and that is, this conference is a contribution towards, right, that conversation for us to create. So thank you, Aparna.